Okay, so let's look at an example of how to use these Suvat equations that we've got. Here's a worded example. So what we want to be looking out for is where we get the quantities that we want, which is S, U, V, A, and T. And we'll mark them on as we go. So a cyclist is travelling along a straight road. She accelerates, let's highlight that for A, constant rate from a velocity of 4 to a velocity of 7.5, both in meters per second, and the time she takes is 40 seconds. And we want to figure out the distance she travels in the 40 seconds and the acceleration as well. So what I'm going to do, the way you want to set out all of these questions is you want to write down Suvat, and where you see them, you want to list out what these quantities are that you're given in the question. So S is the thing that we want for part A. So I'm going to put that with a question mark. That's the thing that we want. U, the initial velocity, is what we start at, which is 4. V, my final velocity, is 7.5. And what I'm doing as well is I'm making sure that all of my units are in standard units. I'm not using kilometers as opposed to meters, or I'm not mixing up my units. A is, well, we don't really need A in the first part of the question. I'll save it for the second part, but the time that I take is 40 seconds. I'm going to put that in as well. Okay, so the idea is if you know 3 out of 4 of these quantities, then you can get the 4th one using a Suvat equation. Now, looking at these, the equation that's going to help us get S is the one we had before, with S in it, given by half times U plus V times T. Then you want to sub your values in. S is the thing that we're trying to figure out. And then it's the average of the 2 velocities, which is 4 and 7.5. And then we're going to multiply that by the time that we're taking, which is 40 seconds. And then you work it out. If I put the half with the 40, I'm going to get 20. So I'm going to combine those to make 20. And then 4 plus 7.5, well, that's 11.5. And then timesing the 2 things together, my displacement is, or doubling that makes 23, and then times that by 10 makes 230. So 230 meters. And again, my units have all got to agree with the units I've got in the question, and hopefully they're all going to be in standard units, meters and seconds. So there we go. Okay, part B, acceleration. Well, I can write Suvat again if I need to. They look pretty different, but you know, SUV. Okay, S. I can write it in if I need to. But if I'm wrong, I risk losing marks if I use the wrong number again. U is 4. V is 7.5. A is the thing that we want in this question. And then T is 40. As before. Okay, so I said before, the 230 I can write in, but I don't need it. All I need is 3 out of 4 values, and these are definitely correct because they're given in the question, so I'm going to use these 4. And the Suvat equation to use is the one we haven't used yet, which is V equals U plus AT. Okay, sub the values in. V is 7.5. U is 4. A is the thing that we want, and T is 40. So then, a bit of rearranging, I'm going to subtract 4, so 3.5 equals 40 lots of A. And then divide by 40, and you can get your answer, so A is 3.5 over 40. And then I'm going to tidy that up a little bit. I'm going to multiply on top and bottom by 10. So 35 over 400. And then type it into a calculator. And that's 0.0875. And that's my acceleration. So I'm going to use acceleration units. That's meters per second, or meters per second squared. And that's that one done.